Hello, Namaste. Welcome back to another session of learning. As part of the pronouns lesson, today we are going to learn the difference between the reflexive pronoun and the emphatic pronoun. So, they are similar in many ways, but there is also a difference. So, it's going to be reflexive versus emphatic pronoun. So, shall we begin the lesson? So, what is a reflexive pronoun? A reflexive pronoun is a pronoun which is both the subject and the object of the sentence and its verb. So, normally a sentence has a subject, a verb and an object in English. So, the pronoun is both the subject and the object of the sentence. It is also an extension of the personal pronoun, because you will look at the examples later, you will see that it is related to personal pronouns. It is also a pronoun that follows a verb to indicate that the subject is both giving and receiving the action. So, in other way, it means that the subject is doing the action and is also receiving the effect of the action. So, this pronoun shows the cause and effect. Who is the cause of the action and what is the effect and who gets the effect of the action, and here it is the same person. And this is a pronoun that helps us to reflect or turn the action effect back to the subject. I hope you have got some idea there. Let us look at the examples for more information and better idea. If you remember, I just mentioned that a reflexive pronoun is the extension of a personal pronoun. So, there in front of you, you see why it is the extension. I is a personal pronoun and an extension is myself. We, ourselves. You, if it is singular, it is yourself. It is plural, yourselves. He, himself. She, herself. It, itself. They, themselves. So, there you see this is the relationship between the personal pronoun and the reflexive pronoun. So, it is nothing but an extension. Let us look at the examples of the reflexive pronouns, how it functions. I locked myself in the car. So, if you see I am the doer of the action, the extension myself, that is the reflexive pronoun, is also the receiver of the action. So, the subject and the object are the same person. Likewise, if you look at the next example, we served ourselves at the buffet. So, we are the doers of the action and ourselves, the extension, we are also the receivers of the action. Likewise, if you look at, you have to shave yourself nowadays. So, you should do it for yourself. He cut himself when cooking. So, nobody else cut him, he cut himself, probably accidentally. She shut herself in the room. She is the person who is responsible for the action and she is also the person who is suffering the result of the action. They covered themselves to protect from the cold. It hurt itself trying to jump over the wall. So, basically what you need to understand is the doer of the action and the receiver of the action are the same people. The subject and the object is same. And in between there is that action or verb which affects the subject itself. Now, what is an emphatic pronoun? Is there a difference between an emphatic pronoun and a reflexive pronoun? Yes, there is. And that is the reason why we are studying it. But let us look at a few rules of it. This is also a pronoun which is used for the purpose of emphasis. Now, remember, this is the key word, emphasis. It means to give importance, to highlight. So, this pronoun is used for that purpose, for emphasis. It is also an extension of a personal pronoun. How is it? We shall see soon. And this is a pronoun that many times follows the subject to emphasize the doer of the action. What it means is that this pronoun comes just after the subject, most of the time. So, this pronoun is used to create emphasis or importance in a sentence. It gives importance to the sentence. Here, the subject does the action alone and is given prominence through an emphatic pronoun. The subject does the action. The result of the action could be to anybody, but the subject is given importance. The subject is emphasized using an emphatic pronoun. Now, how does that happen? Let us look at a few examples. Remember, I said an emphatic pronoun is also an extension of a personal pronoun. So, if you see here, it is the same, just like the reflexive pronoun. The pronoun hasn't changed. I, myself, we, ourselves, you, yourself and yourselves, he, himself, she, herself, it, itself, they, themselves. So, ideally, the structure wise, the emphatic pronoun and the reflexive pronoun look similar, but their function is different. And how is it different? Let's see now. There you see the difference. It's very, very clear and evident. I myself locked the car, but it was stolen. Who did the action? I. Who, the effect of the action is for the car. So, look at that myself. Where is it placed? Just after the subject. I myself. Nobody else did. I myself did. So, even if I remove the word myself, the meaning doesn't change. I locked the car, but it was stolen. I myself locked the car, but it was stolen. I add or delete the emphatic pronoun, the meaning doesn't change. It still has a complete sense. But by using that myself, I am only trying to emphasize. And that is the reason why this is called emphatic pronoun. Now, let us look at the next example. We ourselves served lunch to the guests at the party. If I remove ourselves, we serve lunch. Plain enough, simple. You yourself, he himself escorted the chief guest to the dais. Who did it? He. Why he himself? Just to emphasize, just to give importance to who did it. She herself, they themselves, it itself. If you look at all these examples, if you read them, you will notice that the emphatic pronoun is placed immediately after the subject pronoun, and the purpose of it is to only add importance or emphasize the doer of the action or the action itself. That is the purpose of the emphatic pronoun, and that is the difference between the usage of an emphatic pronoun and a reflexive pronoun. I hope this is clear now. So, shall we check what we have learnt? How much of it were we able to understand? So, let us do that immediately now. So, here in front of you there are some 10 sentences. They are a mixture of examples of reflexive pronoun and emphatic pronoun. Now, I want you to read these sentences carefully and try to identify which of these pronouns are reflexive pronouns and which of these programs are emphatic pronouns. So, pause the video for a minute, read these sentences and attempt them and try to find the right answers. There are another 11 or 12 sentences right in front of you now. The condition is similar. There are a few sentences which are which contain a reflexive pronoun, and there are a few sentences which contain the emphatic pronoun. Now, your task is to pause this video at this moment, read all these sentences, and try to check your understanding of the differences between an emphatic pronoun and a reflexive pronoun. I hope you will be able to successfully do this. Don't go ahead for the answers. First attempt it. Right? So there you see in front of you the answers to all the 10 questions that were asked. All the words in the red, those pronouns are all emphatic pronouns, and all the pronouns in the green are the reflexive pronouns. I hope you have got all of them right. The remaining 12 sentences in front of you also with their answers. Again, all the words, the pronouns which are in red are the emphatic pronouns, and all the pronouns which are in green are the reflexive pronouns. I hope you have got all the 22 of the sentences right. So, before we wind up the session, let's quickly have a quick recap. Normally, if you remove the pronoun and the sentence still makes complete sense, it is an emphatic pronoun. So, the purpose of the emphatic pronoun is only to emphasize the doer of the action or the action itself. Usually, a reflexive pronoun acts as the object of the transitive verb. So, where the effect of the action passes from the subject to the object, and the subject and the object are the same people or the same person. Emphatic pronoun is for the purpose of emphasis. It gives importance to the doer of the work or action. Likewise, a reflexive pronoun's purpose is to show that the doer of the action and the receiver of the result of the action is the same person. And a reflexive pronoun can be used after a preposition too. There are some examples you have seen. So, after a preposition also a reflexive pronoun comes, but the condition is the same. The doer of the action and the receiver of the action are the same people. Meanwhile, the emphatic pronoun mostly comes after the subject, but there are occasions where it come towards the end of the sentence also. So, I hope I was able to clarify the differences between the emphatic pronoun and the reflexive pronoun, and now I am sure you must be confident to go and apply them in your day-to-day transactions in English. So, happy learning. God bless you. Take care. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you once again for watching this video lesson on reflexive pronouns and emphatic pronouns. I hope the lesson was useful. Thank you so much. Please continue to watch my channel English Bricks. I would be very, very happy if you would post your comments, your queries, your concerns. I would be more than happy to respond to them. Likewise, I would also request you to continue to stay subscribed to my channel, and please share my channel English Bricks with your friends and family and relatives. Thank you so much once again. Take care. God bless you. And before I sign off, I would again like to request you, please maintain social distance and ensure that you keep yourself and your loved ones safe during these pandemic times of COVID-19. So, I shall come back to you with the next lesson in the series of pronouns. Till then, take care. God bless you. And I am signing off with best regards, English Bricks here for now. Bye bye.